If I ask you about Tom Brady, Rafael Nadal, or Michael Jordan, you will probably know who they are, or have heard of them, because they are professional sports stars, and their names are often associated with some of the best athletes in their respective sports. However, if I ask you about Dennis Fong, Lee Sung-hyuk, or Luka Perkovic, it's likely you've never heard of them. Are they football or basketball players? No, they are not football or basketball players, but they are also sports stars in a different kind of sport known as esports. In esports, they play games like FIFA, League of Legends, Call of Duty, Free Fire, and PES. These players compete in tournaments held in stadiums, where thousands and even millions of people from around the world tune in to watch. In fact, the viewership of these esports tournaments in America has surpassed that of the NBA Finals and the World Series. Moreover, the awards for these tournaments, such as the International for the game Dota 2, often exceed the prizes in traditional sports tournaments like the NBA. This phenomenon is rapidly growing and spreading, reshaping the sports world. To truly understand this new era in the world of sports and the fundamental changes occurring, we need to trace its roots back to the 70s. You are watching Brand Impact, Untold Stories of Wealth and Business. On October 19, 1972, Stanford University hosted the first recognized competition for the game Space War. In this event, 10 players competed via a LAN, local area network, a small network connecting a group of computers, similar to the networks on which you might have played games like Medal of Honor and Counter-Strike with your friends, although there were significant differences between them. In the 1980s, video games became immensely popular, both in arcades with titles like Pac-Man and Street Fighter, and on home consoles like Atari. As the video game market evolved, companies began to focus on improving aspects such as colors, graphics, and animation. Through the 1990s and the early 2000s, we saw the release of iconic games like the Mario series and Grand Theft Auto, GTA. However, the real gaming boom occurred at the end of the 1990s in South Korea, following the Asian financial crisis in 1997. The South Korean government made a strategic decision to invest in the development of its internet and communications infrastructure. This investment resulted in exceptionally high internet speeds available to the Korean population. This led to the emergence of a new term in Korean society known as PC bangs, which essentially means internet cafes in our modern understanding. PC bangs were establishments equipped with large computers connected to LAN networks. However, they allowed people to play games with friends at an affordable cost. What set them apart was the ability to play online, not only against people in the same location, but also against opponents anywhere in the world. This marked a revolutionary concept, enabling online gaming with players who weren't physically nearby. Of course, the significance here isn't solely about the vast number of people playing video games. It represents a massive industry and a booming business sector. In 2020, the industry's size approached nearly $1.5 billion, and it's expected to reach $7 billion by 2027. This growth is fueled by advertising and sponsorship deals with companies like Intel, Red Bull, and BMW, along with the broadcasting rights acquired by networks such as ESPN and Twitch. The revenue isn't solely from ticket sales and fan merchandise like t-shirts. It also stems from viewers who attend these tournaments in specialized stadiums. Examples include the Fusion Esports Arena in Philadelphia, accommodating up to 3,500 people, and the Zhongxian Esports Stadium in China, spanning more than 5,500 square meters and accommodating over 6,000 attendees. Additionally, some tournaments are hosted in multi-purpose venues like the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, which hosted the Overwatch tournament finals, watched by more than 22,000 attendees, not to mention the millions watching online. Remarkably, the number of followers for these tournaments on platforms like YouTube surpasses those for all other sports content, news, movies, and educational content combined. In essence, the world of esports garners more followers than the real world. The popularity of esports is not only rivaling that of mainstream sports like football, basketball, and tennis, But also the stars in esports have gained significant popularity comparable to traditional sports athletes. This surge in popularity has reached the point where the US government recognizes players of games like League of Legends as professional athletes, granting them visas to compete in America under this job title. Contestants in these tournaments play on specialized teams for these games and have contracts with monthly salaries. Coaches are selected with the same care as those in traditional sports teams. For example, there's the American professional Indy Halpern, who joined the Los Angeles Valiant team after finishing high school to become part of their professional Overwatch team. Additionally, there's the American professional David Bytheway, who signed the German team Wolfsburg in 2016, representing the club in the game FIFA. These professional players, like others in traditional sports, follow strict regimens that include a prescribed number of hours of sleep, specialized nutrition, and exercise programs. These practices are essential for maintaining their physical and mental fitness, both of which directly impact their performance in tournaments. These regimens go beyond simply playing games for hours. They also involve gym workouts and other exercises. Just like athletes in physical sports, esports players can get injured, and their exercise routines are supervised by team coaches. These programs aim to enhance the mental and physical endurance of players and increase energy levels in both muscles and the brain, providing a significant advantage during lengthy tournaments where players must endure both physical and mental stress and pressure. Continuous exercise is essential for professional esports players, as it enhances cognitive functions, reaction speed, hand-eye coordination, attention, and concentration. It also boosts the activity of the hippocampus, responsible for information processing. All of these advantages improve a player's performance and competitive edge. You might find it surprising that these benefits result from playing video games, which may lead you to wonder whether esports can truly be considered a sport. A heated debate rages on between supporters and opponents of considering esports as a sport like football, basketball, and other traditional sports. Some argue that this debate may seem meaningless at its core, as the notion of sport typically conjures images of physical activities that demand effort and skill for professional competition. Sitting in front of a computer and playing video games doesn't immediately align with the conventional perception of sports or a sports person. In fact, the stereotype often associated with esports enthusiasts is that they may be physically unfit and lack distinct athletic abilities. While this opinion may appear valid, not all sports require physical exertion. For example, archery is an ancient sport that doesn't measure muscular or physical throwing ability, but focuses on the control of nerves in the arm and fingers during shooting. Another example is chess, classified as a sport involving two individuals sitting on benches and moving pieces on a board. Where is the muscular effort in that? However, chess is indeed considered a sport that assesses the mental acuity and skills of the competitors. There are numerous examples of such sports that have prompted researchers to delve deeper into the debate about esports and reconsider our definitions of sports. This reevaluation can help establish a systematic approach to understanding and distinguishing sports from other activities. At the outset, sports involve physical exertion, but the concept of physical exertion is somewhat vague. It's essential to find a quantifiable way to measure this effort. In 2007, Scandinavian scientists published a paper in the Scandinavian Journal of Public Health proposing the use of metabolic equivalent of task, MET, to measure a person's physical exertion during various activities. For instance, walking slowly has an MET value of 2, while basketball has an MET value of 8. These researchers also examined the MET values for a group of video game players. Their 2013 study revealed that the MET values for video game players ranged from 4 to 9. Surprisingly, this means that in some cases, a video game player's MET value can exceed that of a basketball player. Besides using the MET method, other studies have attempted to measure physical exertion using different approaches, such as monitoring heart rate and assessing changes in blood oxygen levels during exertion. All of these studies collectively confirm that video games can indeed be considered an activity involving physical exertion. When it comes to the second critical aspect of defining sports, which is skill, the question arises as to whether video games necessitate skill like traditional sports. If they don't require any skill and anyone can play them without training, they may not be considered a sport. However, research published in the journal Current Biology in 2012 demonstrates that video games not only demand skills to excel, but can also enhance and develop an individual's skills. Furthermore, video games can serve as training tools for tasks that require exceptional precision, such as laparoscopic surgery and piloting drones. Moreover, for an activity to be considered a sport, it should involve competition between two teams or individuals, conducted according to specific rules, and typically take place in dedicated venues. This criterion is met in the realm of esports. What we'd like to convey is that esports can now be classified as a professional sport. The esports industry has undergone significant development in recent years, and electronic games have experienced a dramatic transformation. As a result, it's challenging to predict how they will continue to evolve over the next decade. Professional athletes in electronic games have started forming associations to advocate for their interests, such as the Association of Professional Counter-Strike Players, CSPPA. At the national level, some countries have officially recognized esports. For instance, South Korea quickly integrated electronic games into its culture and established the Korean Esports Association, KESPA, the world's first government body specialized in regulating video games and esports. In the United States, numerous universities and schools now offer academic programs related to esports. The Chinese government has granted official recognition to esports professionals, designating it as an official job title. In Germany, laws have been introduced to facilitate the immigration and employment of esports professionals. Additionally, both investors and governments are actively collaborating to enhance the necessary infrastructure for this industry, including the improvement of internet networks and the upgrading of stadiums to host future esports tournaments and competitions. In 2020, the game Free Fire achieved a significant milestone by becoming the first battle royale game to surpass 1 billion downloads on the Play Store, with over 150 million daily users. As smartphones have become widely accessible and internet connectivity has improved, especially in Asia, esports have rapidly gained popularity on mobile platforms, amassing a massive audience. With the increasing popularity of these digital sports, the boundaries between esports and traditional sports have blurred, with only subtle distinctions remaining. This leads to a pivotal question. Can esports eventually replace traditional sports? It's worth noting that there are entire generations of children who were introduced to sports like football and basketball through video games, well before they engaged in real-life play or watched these sports in reality. The awareness of these new generations has been shaped in a digital realm, raising the prospect of the virtual world resembling reality more closely. For example, instead of children gathering at a neighborhood basketball court, they may convene to play NBA Live using virtual reality, VR technology. This technology could transport them to a real basketball court, and in the virtual realm, they might see themselves on the court, surrounded by thousands of fans. Their appearance could even change in the virtual world, transforming one into LeBron and the other into Michael Jordan. Their experience in this virtual space could surpass the charm of real-life experiences. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a lit video. Be sure to watch our previous episodes. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.